seen more ticks this year. Even in my apartment, I found some.
Really? Oh,
From your dog? You have dogs,
Yeah,
right?
I try to check her when we go on walks,
Yeah.
like in the
Yeah.
parks and stuff. I try to
Yeah.
check her before we come back in.
Yeah, so it must be picking them up there. Yeah.
Hey,
One of our
All right,
Homer
there's
dogs.
Leroy. Yep.
Yeah,
Hey.
sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's all right.
Did you guys finish yet?
No, we've just been talking
We're waiting for
about-
you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Just got totally involved in doing a directory of my Green Gazette. And I'm working on issue number 170.
Whoa.
Wow.
Kind of looking over the history. It was kind of fun. And
Yeah.
I lost track of time. Anyway, thanks for waiting. Okay,
No
you
problem.
may commence now.
How far does the Green Gazette go back, time-wise?
2008,
Okay, whoa.
I believe, is when I
Alright.
started it.
Good 12 years then. Huh.
So, anywho, yeah, you guys are all mentioned in there several times. Probably 50, 60 times. I should get your picture. I should get your picture. Yeah. So, I know we have at least one item on the agenda. We also have some news from the board meeting last Tuesday. So, don't everyone talk at once.
Well, let me just mention, about the solar home tour.
Yeah.
Let's see. Actually, GLREA was talking about it last night, and I think it's kind of almost obvious now that solar home tours are going to be virtual rather than, in person for obvious reasons. And so, GLREA now, I think, as you know, has a YouTube channel. And I did create a playlist initially for my solar story series. And then I just, I kind of learn as I go along and don't really know what the hell I'm doing. But I created a playlist today for the Lansing area virtual solar tour. So we'll be able to use that in October, I think, for our area tour. And right now we've got, I think, just the 5 videos that were on the Zoom, the 5 recordings, but obviously we can add things as we go between now and in October. But it's, I think this is going to work okay because, I think we'll have enough material. And then, it seems fairly easy to kind of get it up there on YouTube. And then the challenge, of course, which is reaching out to folks and letting them know that, this is what's available, this is where you go, that sort of thing.
Awesome.
John, is one of them going to be the video that the township did when equipment was installed at my house?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I guess, though, I myself wouldn't have access to the video to upload it. So the issue is, how does that get done?
That's a good question. Home TV did express an interest in doing a Meridian focused news story of some sort. They might be able to help produce a special segment. I'm not sure exactly what makes the most sense, but they could also provide an opportunity to, I could probably find a link where you could potentially download that episode. Or at least
I'd love to see that link too. It's been a while since we've seen the video, and I don't know if I ever actually got a version of that, because I'd love to have that as well. I thought the video was great, and I don't know, I thought it went really well. A good example.
I'll take a look for it right now. There's a couple of stations that they have, and anyway, I haven't used YouTube a lot in terms of downloading video, but I have downloaded audio, so I'm sure it's possible to transfer the video somewhere, or at least provide a link to it.
Hey, Lori, that sounds good.
Yeah.
If you can provide a link, if I can download it and then upload it, then we'll be all set. And I guess, and we've talked about this before, if at some point, either in a larger video or a special video, if we could do something on the 20 kilowatt project at the Township Hall, that would be marvelous.
Yeah. Let's see. I found a link with Roger's picture. I'll send you this. I'll send you this. Lee. Let me know if it's the one you're looking for. I'll put it in the chat window.
Okay, super.
In terms of doing one on the Meridian system, I think that would be a cool thing for us to do. We might even be in progress of installing another solar system by then, which would be neat. Kind of a work in progress.
Yeah, you can see sort of finished product, and here's some ones, you know, in progress. I think that's a nice full spectrum.
I typically have had a conflict on Thursday nights, so I haven't tuned into many of these, but I'm willing to assist with one on this township solar system, but I also feel like I would invite any of you to participate in that as well. And we might even get CBS Solar involved if they're in town, or certainly Rob.
Yeah, I mean, because when we did the presentation to the township, they didn't want to drive down for that. So at the time, I was the one that gave the presentation at the town hall. I'd be happy to do that again. You know, actually, I've been meaning to ask. I would love to be able to put maybe one of our signs up there. That's the CBS one's been there for a couple of years now. So I don't know. And we're actually here and local, so I thought that might be nice to also show that we were involved. You know, but obviously, I wanted to ask you, you know, first before we did that. But and then maybe that's a topic for another day. But
you know, I'm not sure how that sign has stayed there so long. And normally the township,
I kind of wondered that. It's been there a long time.
I've seen it blow over a couple of times. Where the township normally kind of frowns on yard signs.
Kind of what I figured.
But maybe there's some sort of a plaque or something that might actually get more attention than a yard sign that would be educational as well as give you guys some credit.
I think we kicked that around. Yeah. And it can kind of list some of the sort of aspects of it as far as like, you know, this offsets, you know, how many cars it takes off the road, you know, things that puts it in real perspective. You know, like the equivalent of planted this many trees and, you know, things like that. And then obviously the basics, like it's this size, it makes this much energy, but stuff that if somebody walked by that doesn't know kilowatts and watts and stuff, they would see, oh, well, I can picture 50 trees, you know, being planted or something like that. I think that'd be a good idea.
We could also update website. That should be done anyway. And maybe we can create some wording on an updated draft of a website. Just thinking out loud here.
I mean, yeah, and if you want help compiling any of the language that would go on there, I can run the system size through my software, and then I can then determine, you know, how much carbon offset we're talking about and all those sort of nice real world examples that people can relate to. With our software, I can come up with all that stuff if you wanted me to.
Okay, I just shared the latest website, which has really not been updated in probably over a year. but it's got some pictures from the construction and the link to the inverter output, things like that.
Oh, okay. And here's some of those specs right there. Okay, great.
Hey, by the way, Heidi, thank you for the text.
Oh, you're welcome.
That was sweet of you. She texted me to ask me if I was going to join. So anyway, yeah, these are all great ideas. I can check with Home TV again. Trying to get a little bit better about laying out plans for media outreach, because there's so much going on, and not just with energy and environmental, but just construction and, you know, the latest gossip and law breaking. Anywho, I was going to get a picture of John trimming his bushes the other day. Thought that might have been newsworthy.
Okay, she saw.
He was looking like he was getting swallowed up by it.
I was, yeah. It hides my cable and transformer and stuff. Ray asked me if I had a permit. I said, I don't think so.
Hey, this is totally unrelated, but guess who I ran into at Aldi yesterday?
Who?
Jerry Nash. He's like,
Oh my God.
Michigan's original energy guru. Taught John everything he knows.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway,
Nobody knows him except me.
he wants to have coffee sometime. So maybe y'all can, it could be an event.
He's
Anyway.
quite a character, so.
He is. Anyhow, okay. So I'll check with Home TV and just sort of mention this idea about doing a larger one for Meridian. I'm not sure how that would look, but compiling some of the existing virtual tours, my solar stories that related to Meridian, the footage on Roger's system, maybe some upcoming installation, maybe a revised, you're going to want to see a revised website because it really goes off our township website. We can figure out a way to get that onto the township website. That would be, I'll mention that and see if they have ideas on that. It'd be cool to get all of our fact sheets in one place too. Solar coaches and kind of the latest list of solar installers. That probably wouldn't be too hard, but I'm just thinking out loud here.
What happened at the board meeting? You mentioned the recent board meeting.
Yeah, well, everyone unanimously, at least the people that were voting, supported the Climate Emergency Resolution. So, yeah, kind of flew through. What happens from?
Did anybody make any comments about it?
Yeah, I will send the link. You know, Courtney, Dan Opsimer, Brett actually read it, which he read the whole thing. I think Dan asked him to read it, and asked someone to read it. And so I think there was general support. You know, it's still going to be up to us how much follow through and how much we keep it on people's radar, because the long emergency doesn't bend people's ears too much unless we remind them occasionally.
Hey, one thing I noticed was, of course, we're probably all getting campaign literature because of the upcoming primary, but I was looking through the literature from Dan Opsimer, and he had kind of highlighted the fact that the township's going to go to 100% renewable by 2030. And I thought, wait a minute, wasn't that 2035? So we just lost 5 years. We better get moving.
And we lost budget too.
PPA.
Interesting. Yeah, I really do think we have some strong supporters. And if you, do any of you have regular contact with, I mean, obviously we have Courtney Wazinski on the Environmental Commission, but if anybody else has any contacts on the board, it might be nice to share our priorities and get some of their input. Talk to Dan about that 5-year advanced goal that he's sharing.
Well, I was just, actually, I'm always thrilled to kind of see that politicians start talking about that stuff. You know, it's kind of like they obviously think it's important enough and popular enough that they kind of put it in their campaign literature. I think that's good progress.
Yeah. About time.
Yeah, right.
I have another slightly unrelated question. Can you guys hear the fan in the background here? Or
Mine or yours?
mine?
Okay.
Okay.
I just hear mine, but
No, I don't hear any background
Okay,
other
cool.
than the trucks going by.
Okay. We have, it's about 80 degrees here, which is not too bad as long as there's a fan on you, but still doing the HVAC improvements.
Hey, Leroy, when, you know, is there a expected date when everything will be done?
Good question. I think we're hoping for the end of the year. It's probably listed in the RFP,
Mhm.
but I don't have that right in front of me.
Well, now that you mention RFP, I wonder, you know, you sent out the revised solar project RFP, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, have you gotten any contacts, calls, questions?
There has been somebody said they're too busy to respond.
Must be Rob.
you know me.
Other than that, let's see. I know there's definitely been some interest. You know, 2 or 3 contractors. You know, there's the one guy from who proposed the power purchase agreement. Keeps asking if we read his proposal. I'm not sure if
Rob
he's going to.
Rapson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious how he's going to respond, if he's going to respond. I think he might be more interested in the power purchase agreement. I believe CBS is interested in bidding. Rob, are you going to come to the walkthrough?
Yep, I'll be there.
Cool. That's July 16th. I have it at noon,
Yep.
but I'm not sure exactly what time it is. I have to check on that. So yeah, I think we'll get at least one bid.
You'll at least get one. That I can assure you.
Awesome. It's great. And of course, the farmers market's coming along. The roof is pretty much on.
Yeah, last time I went by there, it was getting really coming together. I haven't been there. I go to Nancy Moore Park a lot. I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to go in a minute. But last I went by there, though, it was really coming together. I was so blown away. But at first I thought it was just some business going in. And then, oh, wow, this is the farmers market. This is amazing. So I'm excited. I think it's going to look really cool.
Yeah, I went there the other day, the farmer's market, and you know, I was looking at the I guess south-facing roof that looks at the Meridian Mall, and it looked like enough area to accommodate 20 kilowatts. You know, so Lori, do you know, is there anything? There's probably nothing in the RFP to specify which roofs or any of that other sort of stuff, because you also have a roof that's facing kind of southeast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess we'll see what the contractors respond to. I don't think any of that is. If any of you would like to see the RFP and haven't, be happy to dig it out. I did make it into a fillable form, which hopefully is a little easier to just fill out and return. It's like, I don't know how many 100 pages it is, but it's there's only one section that really is required to respond to for the first round. And once you you're with the win the bid, then there's a couple other sections.
I'm glad you did that, Leroy, because you know, part of the problem we'll have is that you know, installers, from what I can tell, are real busy, and you know, it's much easier for them to deal with businesses, homeowners, than kind of bureaucracy. So, you know, if somebody gets an RFP that's, you know, that long, they kind of think, I don't even have time to read it, let alone respond. So that's probably a disadvantage, but like you said, all we need is one good proposal.
Well, and I mean, for me too, if you're not willing to, if reading through something that's thorough is such a deterrent, then how thorough are you going to be at the actual installation? You know, I don't know. For me, if you're not willing to do that, then what other corners are you necessarily cutting? I don't know. I appreciate the thoroughness personally, but I guess going to law school maybe affects that a little bit. But I don't know.
That probably helped.
Right.
Training.
Right. I'm like, oh, great details. I love that. You know.
I prepared a 4-page RFP, which I thought was quite adequate, but powers that be beefed it up a little bit. I don't know. I have a problem with just too much paperwork. I can see your point though, Rob, and I think that's part of the intent, but I just think there's way too much paper. You know, you want to be concerned with someone's skills, certainly, but to have them have to wade through paperwork is just
it's almost then whoever can best deal with all of that can do better.
Most of it's fairly boilerplate and should make perfect sense, you know.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I think you're absolutely right, but it's just my residual after 170 Green Gazettes. Anyway, what else is on people's minds that they want to talk about today?
I wanted to briefly mention about the environmental justice issue. You know, the Environmental Commission has been talking about that. You know, obviously the Township Board has been talking about a lot of diversity issues too, but there's been some discussion with the Environmental Commission, and I went through the climate action plan, our climate sustainability plan, kind of with a new perspective. And one thing that kind of hit me was, you know, every section has educational opportunities for township residents. And so that kind of reminded me that, you know, as we do different programs, you know, we should keep in mind trying to reach a kind of diverse audience, which sometimes can be challenging. Then I kind of thought too, you know, actually with the Solarized Meridian workshops, we did pretty good in the sense that we had both the Islamic Center and the Hindu Temple had kind of hosted workshops. So I kind of thought, you know, not that we did anything, not that we made any special effort, but it kind of worked out that we actually had had some kind of diverse hosts, because it was pointed out to me that if you look at the township's composition, actually our percentage of Asian Americans is probably the biggest minority group. So there's something to keep in mind as we kind of talk about different issues and plan different programs.
Good insights, yeah. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Other thoughts?
Well, I mean, the Islamic Center is a great, I think, you know, kind of community hub for a lot of people. The fact that it's a school and everything, and they were so great to work with. They did 10 kilowatts of ballast system, and they've just been wonderful. And then we're going to be working with University of Lutheran next door because Islamic Center, liked us so much that they referred them, and then Grace Lutheran in Lansing too. But yeah, so all I can say is that they're, very much a partner in supporting renewable energy, and some of the leaders of their faith community really want to sort of spread this message. So I mean, if things can ever return to normal, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to host more solarized events and things like that.
That's that whole, that's that whole neighbor influence, right? Like they're, like we talked about neighborhoods and how neighborhoods, you get solar on one and then if it was a neighbor, that's what happened with the Islamic Center and their neighbor, right? And then their peers. Yeah.
Exactly. And there's some very motivated leaders in that community that are really want to help promote solar in general. So I think that they would definitely be a more than happy, willing partner in the future for any events or things like that. We just, got to return to some sense of normalcy, I would assume. But yeah, they were wonderful to work with.
Kind of related to that, maybe we should share that resolution that we had worked on at the Environmental Commission the other night with the group. Just a couple of our commissioners, Susan Maston and Ned Jackson, drafted a kind of an environmental justice resolution.
I'd love to see it.
There's certainly a lot of angles to this this issue. But I can share that.
I'm sure all the Michiganders know that environmental justice term was coined in Michigan, right?
Really?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
So it was so there was stuff happening in North Carolina with hog farms, and there was something happening in Detroit and I think there was a conference at University of Michigan. I can't remember all the details now, but I first heard the term in the late 90s. And then I was on a CCL podcast recently and I looked it up. And yeah, I guess it was partly because it was some conference and partly because it was related to something in Michigan, as well as there were some issues in North Carolina. But that's what one of the things, this can sound weird, but I'm like, every little thing counts is, I tell people, when I think about throwing something away, I think that's going to go into, that's not going to go into my backyard. That's going to go into some environmentally unjust backyard, probably. And so it motivates me not to have waste as much as I can, because it's going to go somewhere, right? And it's not going to be my backyard. It's going to be probably something not as just, or to another country, right? Yeah. Now I can't find where exactly.
One of the basic principles of ecology, there is no away.
There is no what?
Away.
Oh, away? No.
Just somewhere else. Right.
Yeah.
We're all downstream.
From somewhere, right?
Right, yeah. Downstream from somewhere.
Or up.
Yeah, it was Warren County, North
upshifting.
Carolina had a disproportionate quantity of minority communities in Warren County, North Carolina played host to landfills. And I guess they talked about this maybe at this original conference where they coined that term. Anyways, a little bit of history, which I can't remember all the details of.
Oh, it's interesting.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this speaks to some other aspects of our climate sustainability plan as well, in terms of, reaching underserved populations. Um, one of the newsletter articles that I uncovered a few minutes ago was this whole push. It's something like consumers is counting on Michigan citizens to reduce the need for climate or new power plants. And so, are we promoting energy efficiency? Are we, we need to maybe look at how we can maybe do more with that, the educational component, as John says. So it's not just about diversifying our portfolio, but also saving money, reducing costs, providing affordable options, things like that. Anywho, anything else on folks' agenda? Sorry, I came late and somewhat unprepared, but I'll follow up on the solar home tour stuff with Home TV and try and get some more specifics about the solar contract, just the timeline and deadlines and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I did talk to, and I think I'd emailed you guys about, I talked to Fox 47, and they're going to have me on for another morning blend. And we'll probably do that, like maybe, yeah, it's exciting. The first one went well. I think we're going to try to put that up on the website. Yeah, apparently they liked me enough to have me do it again, which is cool.
That's awesome.
And we're going to try to time it up to be, and if you guys have suggestions on an optimal time for this, I'm definitely interested in hearing that, but maybe 2 weeks prior to the home tour. So, because I don't want to do it now, because people will forget by the time we get to October. And, so I'm thinking maybe 2 weeks prior, maybe a week prior. And then during my 2.5 minutes, I can basically have a big plug for the home tour. And they're going to let me kind of, do that. So I'm thinking, a week or two prior. So it's still kind of fresh for people. That's sort of what I was thinking. And then I'm also going to try to see if I can get Lansing City Pulse to put out some sort of article or statement about it. And then I'm going to see if I can track down Channel 6, because we were on there recently too. But yeah, and then a couple, I'm going to see if I can make sure to get a couple more people on the tour as well. I think the 50 kilowatt ground mount in Williamston would be perfect. That one's just really cool. And I think he'd be the kind of person that would be all about it. So yeah, and we're doing his doctor's offices and stuff as well. So, and that's so very much a good, I think a good person to sort of help show that this is good for everybody. It's home, business, whatever it is. If you're out in the country or or in the city, it works either way. So, yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on that.
Great. Let's see.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at environmental justice.
Yeah, it was a 1990 conference or something, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, 1990 conference, it looks like,
Yeah.
after an 87 study. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, great. And that climate resolution. Yeah, I wanted to read that.
I'll put the environmental justice resolution. I think that's the latest draft. We'd like to take a peek at it. Okay, anything else? What else is, I missed the gossip, so I might have to go back and review the recording. That's sometimes the best part.
Well, tell us, I don't always hear, tell us what's going on in the township and everything, and we've got,
Well, our work hours have been cut from 9 to 4.
Mhm.
somehow that didn't affect me as much because those are already my hours. I work, part-time, so.
Right. Uh-huh.
But let's see. Oh,
Well,
this.
Laura, you should mention about our effort to have that regional Zoom meeting.
Oh, good point.
Oh,
Yeah, this could be interesting to tune into. Yeah, John, part of our climate sustainability plan, John reminded us, is regional collaboration. So we're setting up a meeting with local governments and a couple other organizations just to share some of the environmental projects that we're involved with. And it'll be August 11th at 1 o'clock, I believe. And you can tune in on Zoom, or there'll probably be broadcast. So just an opportunity. It's not a whole lot of time, especially if we have 20 people presenting, but this should be a good opportunity to kind of get a quick snapshot of what other governments are doing.
At 1 p.m.
Yep.
And how do you access that?
Well, that's a good question. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, send a Zoom link. It'll be on Zoom, right?
Yep. I think I just sent one out, but it'll also be broadcast on home TV, probably.
Oh,
I'm not exactly sure the Facebook page. So, yeah. That's
one thing related to that is the city of Lansing just appointed a sustainability manager, who Leroy knows from recycling and other efforts. So, there's a number of communities in the area, East Lansing and Delhi and Delta Townships, Williamston Township, but we're, I guess, all got our fingers crossed that the city of Lansing will be doing more now that they've got a sustainability coordinator, manager, or whatever, because obviously Lansing could do a lot, especially since they have a municipal utility.
Yeah, BWL is actually, I'm really growing to appreciate BWL. They have sometimes their shortcomings when they're not as knowledgeable about things because they're smaller, but they're so willing to work with solar in general. They still have they're still offering the $2,000 rebate, which I don't know of anywhere else that does that. They've even been open to discussion about location of panels, even this is going to produce less because of where it is. So therefore it should be approved. I mean, much more open to kind of working together, I've found, than consumers, and especially with DTE, but that goes without saying. Yeah, so I really do like BWL. I wouldn't be surprised if they were much more willing to embrace some sustainability goals and help with the city in general. So just a little observation, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I know Nicole Mosteller from East Lansing is going to tune in and share about their greenhouse gas inventory. Have you met Nicole yet, John? Okay. So, yeah. Board of Water and Light should probably be invited, but as well. But we're going to kind of start primarily with local governments for this event on the 11th. So,
is Williamston Township gonna be involved?
Yep, Williamstown Township.
Or Williamstown, yeah. I always.
Yep, Wanda,
yeah.
Bloomquist expressed an interest. Yeah.
They were about to do a solar project until COVID and the shutdown, which is unfortunate. But then, understandably, I think budgets kind of went up in the air. So they've, I think, put it on hold. But I know for a fact, though, that they are very supportive of renewables and efficiency and stuff in general, because they were very excited about it up until all this happened. So they would be a good partner to have in there too, I think.
Heidi, there's been some murmurs about battery recycling. I don't know if Battery Solutions has a list of local participants or drop-off locations, but be interested in that, and maybe updating our battery fact sheet. I don't know if you have if you want to take a look at that, or if you can get a hold of something like that, but.
You mean
You're
in
talking about
terms
just
of what they have?
normal, like 9-volt double A's, normal
I'm
batteries,
talking about all batteries, but
all
yeah.
sorts.
But
I would love to know where to recycle those. I have a big bag of those at home that I don't want to throw away, and they just keep, sort of stacking up. So
I'm not saying a word. No. Well, we don't, well, because, I told John I would, Battery Solutions is one of our clients, and Chris used to go out there once a week, and they have a little box there that you could take, and so we take ours there, and then I said, John, you can give us John's server. So we took his here. So, but we don't go out there right now. But it looks like they have something on their website here.
Battery Solutions.
Yeah, Battery Solutions. They're, or at least last time we looked, they're the second biggest battery recycler. Here's the, I'm looking to see, you were asking about where you can drop things off.
I was curious.
Yeah.
I'll send you this battery fact sheet, Heidi. Maybe you'll get a better sense of what I just want to update.
Yeah.
I know there is a place in Frandor, Batteries Plus.
Yeah, Batteries Plus. I used to take stuff there.
If you're a customer, you'll take it, but I think there's a small charge.
I just want to recycle them. That's fine. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
The last thing you do is throw away a battery. That's so wasteful.
Hey, Laura, I seem to remember the township's recycling center took batteries or not.
Yeah, we did. We charged $1 a pound, but it was on hold temporarily. I have to check on that to see if they've lifted that again.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like with Battery Solutions, you can basically buy a kit that you fill up with batteries. It's $60, and that includes round trip shipping and recycling, and then you can send all your batteries there. So it does cost. Yeah. So
I mean,
if you want to
just
do
having
individual,
some sort of
yeah,
option in any sense, because I refuse to throw these away. So we got to find something.
Yeah, that might be. I was just thinking about, like, I could buy one of these things and then just have a neighborhood battery collection thing.
Everybody throw them in, right?
Yeah, throw them in and mail it back. Yeah, it'd just be a
good idea.
Kind of like a donation. Sometimes it's nice to see direct donation results.
Well, if you have anything on this for this fact sheet, let me know. But I see your link there. I should probably include that on the fact sheet. But anyway, anything else?
People could do neighborhood drives. Yeah.
Good idea.
Stick it out on my driveway. Bring your, just like people leave free things on your driveway. You could stick a bucket out there and say, put all your batteries in here.
I bet it'd get full real quick.
Yeah, I was just thinking that you might need 2 buckets.
Yeah, we used to collect them, and we just had buckets and buckets of them. The health department does take them. I believe you got to haul them out during Tuesday or Thursday afternoon.
That's on the south side of Lansing?
Yeah.
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 Oh, well, that's near my office. So.
MSU Recycling Center, they don't take batteries?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think so. Is it open?
It is open now. Yeah, they opened June 22nd. It's limited hours, like from 9 to 3.
Okay. I don't remember there being batteries there. I mean, they have like things for plastic bags, which I think is nice because people get way too many of those. That's not always enough.
When no one's looking, you can throw them in with a cardboard.
The battery. That's not even funny. One thing to know though about MSU right now is that they are not taking plastic bags right now, I'm pretty sure, but they're also only taking 1 and 2 bottles and jugs. So if you want to do plastic, you got to go up to Meridian Township Recycling.
We've been pretty good about not even taking in any plastic bags, just always having reusable shopping bags in each car, and Amazing though, it stores, people just automatically assume you want so many bags, and people
Yeah.
are like double bagging and put, I'm like, no, we don't need any. They're like, look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, I have hands, you know, I can
Yeah.
carry these things, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to
Yeah, I don't
see
see
you.
batteries on their site on MSU. I'm looking on their site.
It's good to see you all.
Yeah. you
Thanks for
too.
tuning in and rousting me from my trance.
Do we need a next meeting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
next meeting. Good point.
See, like 23rd.
Oh, that's still this.
Or no, that's only
we
2
usually-
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually go for it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know, the 6th or the 13th. 6th. Honestly, 6th wouldn't be good for me.
It's not good for me either. Yeah. So you want to
13th
do
would be great,
Would the
though.
13th work for anybody?
Yeah, for me it would.
Fine with me.
Okay.
Yep, as long as Heidi texts me, I'll be good. No, 11 o'clock sounds great.
On the 13th. Everybody stay healthy.
Yes. Please do. Yeah, we're
Yes.
we're overly cautious with all our guys, and we had one guy who turns out it was food poisoning, but he had some fish, didn't feel that good the next morning, and we just said, I don't care if you think it's food poisoning, you got to get tested, and he tested negative. So, but just being really cautious. I know a lot of people, the young people in East Lansing, it's been a problem. Yeah.
You can be the voice of, you're a young person, right? So you can be the voice of reason for.
I technically, I guess. Although, I definitely feel like maybe inside I'm a bit beyond my years.
Well, so I will tell you, so when we went to the MSU recycling, and it's funny if you're just nice about it. So we went to the MSU recycling, I think the Friday after it opened, and we were in our car, and this guy walked up to our car who was working there and said, without a mask, and can you roll down your window? And I was like, what? But I cracked it a little bit, and you're not used to like saying something, right? And he just wanted to make sure we knew about the plastics. But I went and called MSU Recycling. I said, this happened. Can you please remind people that you need to, and she said, that's not our practices. And I mean, I guess it's a learning a way to say something or either not roll, like I shouldn't have even rolled down the window, just you need to have a mask and not being rude about it. Right. And it's just hard to figure out what's the right thing to do. But when I called, she was real nice about it. And she said, and I said, it's just making sure that people are wearing masks and, not asking people to roll down their window if they don't have masks and stuff.
Right.
Because I'm sure there are other people who are maybe not, I don't know. It's just hard to try to figure out the right way to.
It is hard. People, for some reason, this has been politicized, and I just don't understand even why. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's a workplace, right? So they're supposed to wear them.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, you guys have a great day, and
You too.
probably see
You.
you on the 13th, if not
13th,
sooner.
yeah, if not sooner, yeah.
Yep.
And
Take care.
hey, Roger, if you're interested in the tree and staying in touch on that tree project, I'll be happy to keep you in the loop on that.
Well,
Oh,
thank you.
yeah.
I really appreciate that. I'm very interested. So good work.
Thank you for helping
Roger,
us.
the secret tree planter.
Yeah.
I love that.
Secret tree plant. What am I missing?
Well,
It's a
nothing.
secret.
It's a secret.
Nothing. It's a secret.
Yeah. I might send you an email about it later, Rob.
Okay. I might read it.
He doesn't want to, Roy's recording this. He doesn't want any evidence.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Nothing on tape. Nothing on tape. Bye-bye.
Roger.
All right.
All right. See you guys.
Good to see you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.